All right, diving in today to help anyone out there prepping for a non-woven staple machine operator interview
Yeah.
and maybe feeling a little, I don't know, overwhelmed by the whole process.
All right. Absolutely.
We've got you covered.
We do.
In this deep dive, we're going to break down everything you need to know to really nail it.
Absolutely.
We've got a super detailed career guide that's going to give you like all the insights into the role itself.
Yeah. It's a great overview.
And then we've got the interview guide, which is packed with practice questions, expert tips, the whole 9 yards.
Mm.
And then, we also, of course, have RoleCatcher's AI, which is going to be like your secret weapon, honestly,
Absolutely.
to help you tailor your answers and get feedback, for this specific job.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's going to make all the difference.
yeah, so let's jump right in.
All right.
So the career guide, we're talking about nonwoven staple machine operators, right?
Right.
These are the folks who are basically turning raw materials into nonwoven fabrics using, all this specialized machinery.
Yeah.
And, this job is in high demand, which is great news for anyone, looking to get into this field.
Absolutely. Job security is a big plus.
Totally.
And it's only growing, with the focus on sustainability and all.
Right.
More and more industries are turning to nonwovens
Yeah.
for eco-friendly solutions.
Okay, so definitely, some pros there in terms of like job security and,
Right.
the industry itself.
Mm-hmm.
But, we got to be real. There are some cons too, right?
Yeah, of course.
The work can be physically demanding. It can be repetitive.
It can be.
And, the environment can be noisy and involve exposure to chemicals. So,
Right. It's important to be aware of those aspects.
yeah, definitely.
But, even with the challenges, it's a rewarding field.
Yeah.
With a lot of potential.
Totally. So let's dive into the interview questions because, that's where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yeah, that's where you really got to shine.
Okay, so first question.
Right.
Describe your experience operating non-woven staple machines.
This is your moment,
Yeah.
to really showcase your skills and what you bring to the table.
Okay.
Don't just list off the machines, like I operated this one, I operated that one.
Right.
Talk about the types of fabrics you produced. Were there any like tricky situations you had to, think your way out of? Did you have to adjust for different fiber blends or troubleshoot a tension problem, things like that?
Okay, so like give them a story.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Instead of just saying like,
Yeah.
I ran this machine.
I ran this machine and that machine.
In that machine, you'd say something like, I've worked with, a bunch of different machines producing everything from like filter media to geotextiles, and one time I had to actually like tweak the settings to get the right consistency with this new blend of fibers.
Mm.
It took a little trial and error, but I figured it out.
Perfect. Yeah.
Right. Something like that.
That shows problem solving. That shows initiative.
Okay.
That's what they want to see.
And I'm sure they'll probably have some follow-up questions based on whatever story I tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
they might dig deeper into the specifics.
Okay.
Like what were the exact challenges you faced when adjusting those settings?
Okay, so be prepared.
Yeah, be ready to get technical.
To like really like dive into the detail.
They want to see that you understand the nuances
Okay, got it.
of the machines and the processes.
Okay, next question.
All right.
How do you ensure the quality of the non-woven fabric you produce?
Okay, so this one's all about attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see that you're not just like mindlessly churning out fabric.
Right.
That you're really invested in quality. So talk about the specific checks you perform, like visual inspections for any defects, testing the strength and durability, comparing samples to like standards.
Right.
Did you use any special tools or techniques?
Okay.
This is your time to shine?
Yeah, like show off your quality control expertise.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about a follow-up? Like tell me about a time you noticed a quality issue. What steps did you take?
Okay, yeah, that's a classic follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about your problem-solving process.
Right.
So walk them through your actions,
Okay.
how you spotted the issue, who you consulted with, what adjustments you made to fix it. The more detail, the better.
Okay, this is where I feel like, RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy.
Absolutely.
Right, because I could totally see myself like under pressure, like forgetting all the specifics.
Yeah, it's a lot to remember on the spot.
Yeah, so
Especially when you're nervous.
Exactly.
But the AI's feedback feature can really help with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can practice your response.
Okay.
Get feedback on like how to structure your answer, what details to highlight, even your delivery.
So it's like having an interview coach, but like
Exactly. It's like a virtual coach
cool.
to help you prepare.
All right, next question.
Okay.
How do you troubleshoot issues with the non-woven staple machine?
Okay, so this might seem straightforward, but it's a great opportunity to showcase your technical knowledge.
Right, because it's more than just like I
Yeah.
call maintenance.
Exactly. Don't just say that.
Okay.
Walk them through your thought process, like how you would isolate the problem, what resources you would use, what steps you would take before actually calling for help.
Okay, so like I'd say something like,
Yeah.
first I'd check if it's like a mechanical issue or an electrical issue, right?
Exactly.
And then I'd like refer to the machine manual and like my own knowledge of the components. If it was a fabric tear, I'd check like the needles, the feed rollers, the tension, and if I really couldn't fix it, then I'd call in the experts.
Perfect. Yeah.
Something like that.
That shows that you're resourceful, that
Yeah.
you take initiative,
Okay.
and that you know when to escalate an issue.
And then they might ask me to, like,
Yeah, they might follow up with.
give a specific example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a specific mechanical issue you encountered and how you tackled it?
Okay, so be ready to get specific.
Yeah, have some stories in mind.
Okay, cool. I feel like I'm already getting a better sense of what they're looking for.
Good, that's the goal.
All right, next question.
Okay, let's hear it.
Can you explain the process of setting up the non-woven staple machine for a new production run?
All right, this one's all about demonstrating your understanding of the entire production process. So think about it step by step. You're reviewing the production order,
Right.
selecting the right fibers, adjusting the settings for web formation, bonding, speed, and then running like a test batch.
Okay.
You really want to show them that you understand the sequence of events
Yeah.
and the importance of each step.
Okay, and what if they ask, like, what are the most critical factors to consider when setting up the machine for a new fabric?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's them testing your knowledge of the key variables that impact fabric quality. So be prepared to discuss things like fiber type,
Okay.
web formation, bonding method, temperature, pressure.
Okay.
All those things are
Crucial.
crucial.
Okay.
Be ready to discuss how those factors interact and, what impact they have.
This is making me realize how much goes into this.
Yeah.
Like producing these fabrics.
It's a complex process.
Yeah, and why experienced operators are in such high demand.
Absolutely. It's a skilled profession.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to a question that I'm sure will come up.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can you describe a time when you had to work under pressure to meet a production deadline?
All right. This is a classic. They want to see how you handle stress.
Right, because it's more than just like I
Yeah.
stayed late and got it done.
Exactly. They want a story
Okay.
that shows your resilience, your problem-solving skills, your teamwork.
Okay.
Choose a specific example,
Okay.
maybe a rush order or a machine malfunction, and explain the situation, the actions you took,
Okay.
and the positive outcome.
So instead of just saying like, we worked hard and met the deadline,
Right.
I would say something like, we had this huge order come in with a really tight deadline. I worked with my team to optimize the machine settings, streamline the whole process.
Okay.
We put in the extra hours, but, we never compromised on quality.
Yeah.
And we delivered on time, exceeding expectations.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what they want to hear.
Something like that.
They want to see that you can handle the pressure. Okay.
And still deliver results.
And then, of course, they'll probably ask me, like, what specific steps I took.
Yeah, they'll want to know the details.
Okay, so
be ready to explain
you're ready.
those technical adjustments.
Okay, cool. This is great. I'm feeling more confident already.
Good, that's what we want.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, let's do it.
How do you ensure that the non-woven staple machine is running at peak efficiency?
Okay, so with this one, you get to show them you're not just an operator, you're a problem solver.
Right.
You're proactive.
Okay.
Talk about monitoring performance metrics,
Okay.
spotting any deviations,
Right.
performing preventative maintenance.
Okay.
Show them that you're thinking ahead
Right.
and taking steps to keep things running smoothly.
Okay. And what if they ask me, like, what are some key performance indicators that I would monitor
Yeah, that's a great follow-up.
to ensure peak efficiency?
Be ready to discuss things like production rate,
Mm-hmm.
downtime, waste, energy consumption.
Okay. Product quality.
Okay.
Show them that you understand what metrics matter and how to track them and how to use them to improve performance.
Okay, great. All right, one more before we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
All right, hit me with it.
Okay. How do you handle conflicting priorities when multiple production runs need to be completed simultaneously?
This one's all about organization and communication.
Mm-hmm.
So explain your process for assessing urgency.
Right.
Using scheduling systems and keeping everyone in the loop.
Okay.
It's a chance to highlight your multitasking skills.
Yeah.
And your communication skills.
And if they ask me to give an example?
Yeah, they might say something like,
right.
Give me an example of a time you had to manage conflicting priorities. What was your approach?
Okay.
And again, be specific. Describe the situation, your thought process, the steps you took, and the outcome.
Okay, great. This is fantastic. I'm feeling way better prepared for this interview.
Awesome. That's what we want.
And, the best part is we've got more to cover.
We do. In the next part of our deep dive,
we're
going to explore some career insights.
Okay.
And how RoleCatcher's AI can really give you that extra edge in, tailoring your answers and acing this interview.
Cool. Sounds good.
Let's maybe shift gears a little bit and talk about something you mentioned earlier, like the career path for nonwoven staple machine operators.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a job. It's like a whole career with real potential, like for growth and stuff. Yeah,
for sure. And the career guide actually lays out like 3 distinct stages. You got entry level, intermediate, and then senior.
Right.
So I'm kind of curious, like, what does each stage actually like entail?
Yeah, so at the entry level, you're really focused on mastering like the basics.
Okay.
Operating and monitoring the machines, loading materials, doing quality checks, routine maintenance, that kind of stuff.
So like very hands-on, like learning the ropes.
Yeah, exactly. Getting a feel for the whole process.
But what about when you like move up to that intermediate level?
Yeah, so that's when you start taking on more responsibility.
Okay.
You're not just operating the machines, you're setting them up, calibrating them, troubleshooting issues, maybe even training new operators.
So you're like becoming more of an expert, like a leader on the floor.
Yeah, you're building your expertise.
Okay.
And your leadership skills.
That makes sense. And then like, what about that senior level?
Senior level.
Like what sets those operators apart?
I mean, you're basically running the show at that point.
Wow.
You're leading teams, developing strategies, analyzing production data, making sure everything meets like the highest standards of safety, quality, efficiency.
Wow, that's like a whole other
Yeah.
level.
It's a big step up.
Yeah, so it sounds like there's like a clear path for advancement.
Yeah.
Which is like really encouraging for, anyone starting out.
Yeah, there's definitely room to grow in this field.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I guess like understanding those different stages could be super helpful during like an interview.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Like, let's say they ask you about your career goals.
Yeah.
You can like tie it back to this career path.
Okay.
And show them that you understand how the role like evolves. So
instead of just saying like, I want to grow with the company,
right,
I could see something like, I'm really excited about the potential for growth in this role. Like, in the short term, I'm focused on like mastering the technical aspects of operating the machines. But I'm also like really eager to develop my leadership skills and eventually like, take on more responsibilities, maybe even like leading a team of operators.
Exactly. Yeah, that shows that you're ambitious, but also realistic.
Right.
You understand the steps involved.
Okay.
And that's where, RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, remember how we talked about like tailoring your answers to the specific job description? Well, RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze that job description.
Okay.
And identify like keywords and skills that the employer's looking for.
Wow.
And then it can like help you weave those keywords and skills into your interview responses.
That's like...
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Really smart.
It's like a secret weapon.
Okay, I like that. All right, so before we move on to like more interview prep, I want to talk about one more like key aspect of the whole nonwoven staple machine operator role.
Okay, what's that?
And that's safety.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Safety's huge in this field.
So, like, how should I approach a question like, how do you ensure the safety of yourself and your coworkers when operating the machine?
Be specific, Don't just say, like, I follow the safety rules.
Right.
Highlight the exact protocols you adhere to.
Okay.
Like wearing your PPE, conducting safety checks, keeping your work area clean, reporting any hazards.
Okay.
If you've had like specific safety training, mention that too.
Okay. And what if they follow up with, like, describe a situation where you had to address a safety concern?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right.
They want to see that you not only follow the rules, but you can also, like, proactively identify and address potential hazards.
So you're not just, like, blindly following. You're, like,
Exactly.
actually thinking about it.
Yeah, you're thinking ahead.
Okay, cool. So it's not just about knowing the rules. It's, like, having that safety mindset.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, sound good.
We got a few more to cover
All right, let's do it.
that, like, really delve into some, like, important, like, technical aspects of the role. Okay, so here's one that often throws people off.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with advancements in non-woven staple machine technology?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
They're looking for someone who's not just content with, like, the status quo. You know, someone who's actively seeking to learn and grow.
Yeah, so I could talk about, like, attending industry conferences, subscribing to, like, trade publications, taking online courses, or even just, like, networking with other professionals.
Absolutely.
Right, like exchanging ideas.
All great ways to stay current.
Oh, okay. And then what if they're like, give me an example of a recent advancement in, like, non-woven technology that you've learned about?
Yeah, be prepared to discuss a specific innovation.
Okay.
Maybe like a new type of fiber or a more efficient bonding method or some kind of software development that, like, enhances machine control.
So be ready to, like, talk about something specific.
Some that you're, like, actively engaged in the field.
Okay, cool. All right, last question for this segment.
Hit me.
How do you ensure that the non-woven staple machine is properly maintained and serviced?
Okay, so this goes back to that, like, meticulous approach we talked about earlier. You know, highlight your commitment to preventative maintenance.
Okay.
Like following the manufacturer's schedule,
Right.
doing regular inspections, lubricating parts, documenting everything.
Okay.
You know, all the important stuff.
Okay, and if they say, like, tell me about a time you had to perform a specific maintenance task on the machine.
Yeah, again, be specific.
Yeah.
Describe the task, the steps you took, the tools you used, the outcome.
Okay.
You know, the more detail you can provide, the better they can assess your skills.
Cool. This has been so helpful.
Good, I'm glad.
I'm starting to feel like I could really, like, nail this interview.
That's the spirit.
And, you know, the best part is we're not done yet.
We're not. We've got one more part to go.
In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to, like, recap some key takeaways.
Yeah, we'll tie it all together.
And leave you with some final thoughts.
Absolutely.
To, like, really boost your confidence.
And help you shine.
And help you shine in that interview.
You got this.
All right, so we've, like, covered a ton of ground today, you know?
We have.
From understanding, like, what the non-woven staple machine operator role, like, even is, to, like, tackling those, like, really tough interview questions. I feel like we've, you know, really equipped you to walk into that interview feeling confident.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so I think, you know, like, one key takeaway is preparation is, like, everything.
Absolutely.
The more you understand the role of the industry and, like, the specific questions they might ask, the better you'll be able to, like, showcase your skills and experience.
For sure.
Yeah. And speaking of preparation, I have to give another shout out to RoleCatcher's AI.
Yes.
You know, it can truly be, like, a game changer.
It is.
When it comes to, like, tailoring your answers and practicing your delivery.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's like having a personal interview coach.
Absolutely.
Right in your pocket. You know, you can run through those, like, tricky questions, get personalized feedback.
Right.
Refine your responses until you, like, totally nail them.
Exactly.
Yeah. It takes so much of the, like, guesswork out of the process and just, like, allows you to focus on presenting your best self.
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right. So before we wrap up this whole deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay. I'm listening.
Remember that, like, you're more than just your resume and your technical skills.
Yeah.
Like, let your personality, like, shine through.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, show them your enthusiasm, your passion for, like, the industry, your willingness to learn and grow.
Those things are important too.
Exactly. Like, the interviewers, they want to see that you're not just a qualified candidate, but, like, a good fit for their team, for their, like, company culture.
For sure.
So relax, be yourself, let your passion, like, shine through.
Absolutely.
And remember, we're here cheering you on every step of the way.
Yeah. Good luck with your interview.
You got this.